regarding requests for introduction. So practically, requests for introduction will work the same way. They have the past few sessions. Requester has to give their name, the entity or person they're requesting a bill on behalf of, if that's applicable, and the RS number, and that's per House rules. What is different, not only will that information be displayed on the website as it has been in previous sessions, and that must be recorded in the minutes also, but that information will now be printed on the actual bills themselves. So when making a request, just be sure to be clear about who the request is on behalf of, if you are requesting on behalf of someone, or make sure that you clarify the organization's name so that we have accurate and correct information. We might be following up with requesters if we are unclear or we missed something, so possibly be looking for that. But that's really all that's new, is that information is now printed on bills. So if you have any questions, I'd stand for those at this time.
All right, thank you, Chris. Committee, are there any questions for Chris in regards to the, I guess, new process in introducing bills? All right, seeing none. All right, thank you, Chris. So now we'll move on to a request for bill introductions. Are there any bill introductions this morning? Minority Leader Miller.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I'm requesting on behalf of Governor Laura Kelly the introduction of RS 2620, an act concerning health and healthcare Medicaid expansion, her proposal.
All right, committee, you've heard the bill introduction. As I expressed earlier to Representative Miller, this actually probably needs to be introduced in health. Is there a motion to accept the bill introduction? Representative Alcala has made the motion, seconded by Representative Helgerson. All those in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed? No. Ayes appear to have it. Division has been called. All those in favor, raise your right hand. Opposed, same sign. Motion fails on a vote from 9 to 8. The bill is introduced. Any further bill introductions this morning? It was introduced. There was 9 in favor of having it introduced, 8 against. So the bill is introduced. Any further bill introductions this morning? All right, seeing none, we'll move on to the next item. Actually, there's been some staffing changes within my office, and if you have been on appropriations for quite some time, you would have known that Laverne Englehart was my office assistant for 3 years. She was absent, and I asked her to come back, and so she is now back as my office assistant. Also, Tyler Seeley is an intern in my office. And then I will turn it over to Dylan to talk about some of the staffing changes within the research department. Dylan.
Thank you very much, Mr. Chairman. We just had a few new staff and one staff who has some new responsibilities. So on that note, I would turn it over to Molly Pratt.
Molly.
Hi, good morning, committee. My name is Molly Pratt. This is my second year with the Legislative Research Department, but my first year as a fiscal analyst. I've been assigned to the budgets of the Insurance Department, the Healthcare Stabilization Fund, Board of Governors, Government Ethics Commission, Secretary of State, Commission on Veterans Affairs Office, Office of the State Bank Commissioner, and Department of Credit Unions. I'm also staffing the House Committee on Veterans and Military and the Senate Committee on Ways and Means.
All right, thank you.
Good morning. My name is Ariana Waddell. I'm a legislative fellow, and I was assigned the agencies of Board of Technical Professions, Real Estate Appraiser Board, Real Estate Commission, and the Kansas Guardianship Program.
Good morning. My name is Nicole Rincher. I'm a legislative fellow with the Legislative Research Department. I've been assigned the budgets of Kansas Dental Board, the Human Rights Commission, Abstractors Board of Examiners, and the Board of Hearing Aid Examiners. Thank you.
All right, thank you. And Dylan, that concludes the changes in the research department. I think the revisor's office is relatively the same, with Chris joining us. So the staffing that we had in the previous legislative session will actually probably remain the same. Committee, you'll see at your place setting that we have the committee rules and the conferee rules. Actually, I think in the committee rules, there's actually been no changes. The only real notable change in regards to the conferee rule is item number 4, where all conferees are requested to submit an electronic PDF copy of testimony to appropriations at house.ks.gov. So if you please review the committee rules and then also the conferee rules, basically everything has stayed the same as it has in previous years. Any discussion on the committee or conferee rules? Representative Sutton.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. And this is, maybe I just need clarification on this. On number 1 for the conferee rules, conferees should allow no more than 10 minutes for their testimony and response to questions. What is it? We telling them we're going to get them out of here in 10 minutes?
But you also notice that's the discretion of the chair. So basically what we're saying is we're going to limit a time limit for the conferees so we can get through if we happen to have a lot of conferees.
Gotcha.
But at the same time, it's the discretion of the chair to let it go over 10 minutes.
Perfect. All right. Thank you, Mr. Chair.
Any other questions? All right, seeing none. We'll go ahead and move on to the next item, and that'll be the reports that have been distributed to the committee actually as of January 8th, 2023. So we have the reports from the Kansas Department of Corrections report on implementing House Bill 2021, Kansas Housing Resources Corporation's annual report, Public Defender Staffing Report. On January 16th, we had the Eisenhower Legacy Transportation Programs Driver Education Report, Kansas Legislative Research Department Fiscal Year 2023 Military and Expedited Occupational Licensure Report, the Kansas Board of Regents Kansas Training Information Program, the Kansas Board of Regents Can-Ed Summary Report, also the Kansas Board of Regents Annual Report on exceptions to the minimum admission standards at state universities, and the Kansas Board of Regents Disposition of Surplus Property. So you should have received all of those reports. Those probably be some reports that we were going to reference throughout the legislative session. Any questions in regards to the reports that have been sent out to all the committee members? All right, seeing none. I will let you know, this is actually kind of concludes everything for the meeting this morning. We had been working during the interim with the governor's office in having her budget submitted to the Legislative Research Department earlier than what we have in previous years. And she actually agreed to that. And so next week, we are going to be starting out with budget report outs. On January 23rd, I believe Chairman Hoffman is going to be the first one that's going to be reporting out. So we're going to be starting the budget process earlier than we have in previous legislative sessions. The intent is to have all budget report outs. I wanted to have it all done before turnaround. However, we're going to have the much larger budgets at the end, and so that's not going to be able to happen. We should have everything done by March 1st. So we were going to be moving the budget process sooner than we have in previous years. So just to let everybody know that. But budget report outs are going to be starting next week. Any questions in regards to that or the process? All right, seeing none. Tomorrow, actually, we're going to have Cuyahoga, the Kansas Independent Oil and Gas Association, KGS, and also the KCC on the oil and gas industry in the state of Kansas. I would also like to note that Cuyahoga is also having their breakfast tomorrow morning, I believe on the first floor. So until tomorrow morning at 9 a.m., we are adjourned.